Hi y'all, I am here today to talk about WordPress and about the 12 things that you need to look at and check before you hit publish on that blog post. So these 12 things are just the things that you need to check before you hit publish. Here we are in the WordPress interface. I am using Gutenberg, the newer text editor in WordPress, and this is my blog post. So you can see I've got my title, and the first thing I want to check before I hit publish is I want to be sure I've got a featured image here. If you don't have a featured image, what's going to happen is that you're going to post you're going to post a link to your post, and there won't be an image, there won't be a preview image, and that just kind of doesn't really work so well for social media. You need the image to draw attention and to kind of give folks an idea of what you're posting about. So over here in the right hand column, you can see where the featured image is. That's where you would add that. And just be sure you don't forget it. And the next thing that I want to be sure that I get is categories. I want to double check and make sure I've got it. I've got my post in a category and not in uncategorized. But I want to be sure I've got it in the categories that I want. I have on my blog, my marketing blog, I have it set up so that marketing blog is the parent category, and all these are subcategories because they're kind of parts of marketing. So you can set yours up so that they're all the same level, or you can use subcategories. Either way, just make sure you got your categories set. And the same with tags. Tags are really just for WordPress, just another way to categorize and sort information. Tags are a little finer. They are terms that someone might use to search for your post on your site. So be sure that your tags really do apply to what is going on in your post. Next thing you need to check is your permalink. Your permalink is the URL, the last part of the URL of your post. So be sure it has keywords in it. My key phrase for this post was write a blog post. So you'll notice write a blog post is in the URL slug. So make sure your keyword is in that URL. And you want to check your status and visibility. With WordPress, you can make this post public or private, or you can password protect it. So check that it's got the right visibility. You can publish it whenever you want to, or you can backdate it, or you can schedule it for some time in the future. So check your publish date and check your post format. Now, sometimes these aren't used as much as maybe I thought they would be when they first came out, but there are some themes that distinguish between a standard, a quote, gallery, link, video, and audio, just different kinds of posts. So be sure, I have one site that I manage where the post format is always video. So sometimes your theme will have some different styling for a different post format. So check that. Now you want to also look at your excerpt. And this can be important. This is what will show on your archive pages. It's what will show anytime you're not showing the whole post. And let's go over here and look and see what it's going to look like. That's the post page. I'm going to go to the home page and I'm going to scroll all the way down. This is where my excerpt shows up. So sometimes it won't really make sense if it pulls things that aren't exactly how you want it to appear. So the excerpt is a good idea, and that is separate from the meta tag for SEO. And do you want to allow comments on this post or not? You can override that per post. So you can, you may just not want comments on this particular post, so you can disallow that if you want. That's useful if you're going to do something real controversial. Maybe you just don't want a flame war on your blog. Check your images. Now for your images, and if I look over here, WordPress has some built-in, you can round it or you can set just default styling. So I haven't done that. The main thing is make sure you have your alt text filled in. It's important for search engines, and again, you can see this is my keyword, but it's also important for visually impaired folks who need to know what the image is about when they can't see the image. And here you can set your image dimensions, you can scale it. If you want to get advanced, you can fill the title attribute in and then add a CSS class to your image. And here's where you align your image the way you want it. I wanted that aligned center, so I'm going to go ahead and just update that. When you proofread your post, always do it in a preview window. Or if you've published the post and you're just proofreading it again, that's fine. But always do it as it's going to appear. Because honestly, on the edit screen, I can't proofread on the edit screen at all. So if I'm going to just scroll down here and just proof this really good, yeah, it's way better to do it in the preview than it is in the edit screen to see what it's really going to look like. There are two online tools that I really like for editing and proofreading, and one is the Hemingway app, and as you can see, it's just hemingwayapp.com. What it does is analyze your copy for readability, and it finds just clunky construction and tells you what's hard to read. And you can see over here on the right I have a grade of good, and you can see over here on the right it's telling me I'm meeting my goal, not using more than 18 adverbs. It's found 4 uses of passive voice. And some phrases that have simpler alternatives. I've got some apparently some hard to read sentences in here, so it'll find that sort of thing, and I think it's very, very useful. And it's free. All you do is just paste your copy into this interface at hemingwayapp.com. This is Grammarly, app.grammarly.com, and this is a little more in depth on grammar. So here it's suggesting a comma after this 2020, which is, I'm going to dismiss that because that's not actually really relevant. But this is telling you the things you can do to kind of clean it up. So I could actually, under actually here, when I click on it, I can remove that. And this is finding an unknown word, which is actually correct. So over on the far right, you've got an overall score, and then you can see correctness, clarity, engagement, delivery, and then this is a freemium app, so there are some premium features that you can get that will tell you more about your writing. But both of these things will flag they will flag an incorrect use of a word or incorrect punctuation where you need a comma and that kind of thing. So they're both very, very, very helpful. Another thing is to SEO, if that's a verb, to SEO your post. Now, I've used the Yoast SEO plugin, and I'm not an SEO expert, but the Yoast SEO plugin basically just prompts me to do the things that I should do, the best practice things that I should do for search engines to find my post. So I've set my key phrase. I've written and this is where the meta description comes in. I've written that and used the keyword there. And it's going to tell me a couple of things here that I've got the green light on this one, which is good, but there are a couple things that I could do to make this more open to search engines. But basically it's told me that I've done a good job. I've got outbound and internal links. I've got the key phrase in the introduction. I've got all of these things that you can go through and read and incorporate to help you just get found online. And the very last thing is, do you have a call to action in your post? What do you want the reader to do after they read your post? Do you want them to download something? I have here, this is an opportunity to get this post as a PDF, and I offered a link here to a download link. So you just submit your email address and join my email list, and then you get the post as a free PDF. So a content upgrade is it's sometimes called a content upgrade, and that's just a little more about what you've posted about in exchange generally for an email address. So that is WordPress, and these are the 12 things that I recommend you check before you hit that publish button on your post. I hope this has been helpful. You can download a PDF copy of my blog post at the link in the description, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me online at Beth G. Sanders on Twitter and Beth G. Sanders Online on Instagram. I would love to have you follow me, and I will see you next week.